Well, here's a real shocker. Not really. Ram has canceled its HD electric truck. Now the suppliers are left holding the bag. They invested money and stuff. Ram has now canceled plans for the electric heavy-duty truck. It was supposed to be 2027. Okay, that's 2 years from now. They're already canceling it. Right, to build it now, well, guess, been thrown under the bus, or in this case, under the non-existent HD electric truck.
Did you know that one of America's biggest automakers just killed their electric truck program and started laying off workers in the same week? It's a move that sent their stock plummeting 9.5%, the biggest drop among all auto manufacturers. Stellantis is shutting down production at plants across North America, with facilities in Canada and Mexico going dark for weeks. But here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just about market conditions. A massive supplier lawsuit and border tariffs are creating chaos behind the scenes. I've got the full story that explains what's really happening. Now, before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. When an automaker scraps years of electric truck development, the consequences reach far beyond corporate boardrooms. Stellantis recently canceled their heavy-duty electric Ram truck that was planned for 2027, and the fallout is spreading through the industry like wildfire. This wasn't a minor product adjustment, it was the elimination of an entire future vehicle that suppliers had already invested millions to support.
Cause it refused to cover its side of the lost investments and contracts, which amount to $25 million. Suppliers are suing each other over the millions that they invested that, since they're not going to build it, they're SOL. Automotive supplier Vallejo is taking American axle manufacturers to court. They tow things. They carry a lot of weight. Gee, these trucks can only go 90 miles when they do that. Then they have to be recharged. Oh, maybe not such a smart idea to make them. Okay.
The decision has now triggered a major legal battle that reveals just how interconnected the automotive world really is. Supplier Vallejo has filed a lawsuit against American axle manufacturers, seeking to recover a staggering $25 million in investments and contract losses directly tied to the canceled truck. This legal fight pulls back the curtain on a troubling reality. Dozens of companies made multi-million-dollar investments based solely on Stellantis electric truck promises, and now they're left holding the bag. Industry analysts point to several factors behind Stellantis' abrupt change of direction. The most significant concern revolves around the practicality of heavy-duty electric trucks, particularly their limited range when towing heavy loads. A critical issue for truck buyers. As one source bluntly put it, let's see what do people do with big giant HD trucks. Oh, they tow things, they carry a lot of weight. Gee, these trucks can only go 90 miles when they do that, then they have to be recharged. Oh, maybe not such a smart idea to make them.
With Stellantis, Ram, owned by Stellantis, right? Hey, finally, someone at Ram put on their thinking cap and said, let's see, what do people do with big, giant HD trucks? And as usual, the dominoes fall, and the other people that are involved, they're going to lose their money too. So maybe people will start thinking twice before they invest in stupid, they tow things. They carry a lot of weight. Gee, these trucks can only go 90 miles when they do that. Then they have to be recharged. Oh, maybe not such a smart idea to make them. Okay.
The timing of this cancellation couldn't be worse for Stellantis. CEO Carlos Tavares has been aggressively cutting costs since the 2021 merger of Fiat Chrysler and PSA Group under his Dare Forward 2030 plan, focusing intensely on protecting sustainability through higher profit margins. This electric truck cancellation isn't happening in isolation either. It coincides with the end of production for the Ram 1500 Classic at the Warren Truck Assembly Plant, further disrupting manufacturing operations. And this is just the beginning. The supplier lawsuit represents only the first wave in what's becoming a much larger chain reaction affecting thousands of workers across North America. The legal battle exposes Stellantis to potential damages reaching hundreds of millions from suppliers who invested in specialized electric truck components that now have no buyer. While these supplier lawsuits threaten Stellantis financially, there's an even bigger crisis emerging at the US border. New tariffs are about to transform what started as a corporate product decision into a full-blown worker emergency, with layoffs already beginning that could start as soon as October. The combination of canceled products, legal battles, and trade restrictions is creating the perfect storm for Stellantis workers. While Stellantis struggled with supplier lawsuits, an unexpected crisis hit without warning. New US tariffs at the border with literally the worst possible timing. These tariffs on imported vehicles took effect just after midnight, creating an immediate emergency throughout Stellantis' North American manufacturing network. The company had zero time to adapt their complex international supply chain to this new reality. The response from Stellantis management came fast and harsh. Production completely stopped at assembly plants in both Mexico and Canada. The Windsor assembly plant in Ontario, which builds the Chrysler Pacifica and new Dodge Charger Daytona, shut down for 2 weeks starting the following Monday. Even worse, the Toluca assembly plant in Mexico, responsible for producing the Jeep Compass and the upcoming Wagoneer S, went completely dark for the entire month of April. These international shutdowns triggered an immediate chain reaction across the US. Stellantis had no choice but to implement temporary layoffs at 5 American facilities. The Warren and Sterling stamping plants in Michigan, plus 3 additional plants in Indiana. Approximately 900 American workers now face temporary unemployment. Caught in the middle between corporate decisions and international trade policies they had absolutely nothing to do with. The UAW's response came with fury. President Shawn Fain called these layoffs a completely unnecessary choice that the company is making, directly suggesting Stellantis has the financial resources to avoid cutting these jobs entirely. This criticism highlights the growing tension between the company and its workforce during this crisis. Unifor President Lana Payne pointed out the extreme vulnerability of North America's integrated auto manufacturing system, stating Unifor warned that US tariffs would hurt auto workers almost immediately. And in this case, the layoffs were announced before the auto tariff even came into effect. The speed of these job cuts proved her point. The interconnected supply chain collapsed almost instantly when hit with tariffs. The combined impact of the electric truck cancellation, production pauses, and widespread layoffs has created unprecedented financial pressure on Stellantis. Investors are running for the exits as these problems multiply. Stellantis stock has plummeted 9.5%, the largest drop among all major automakers, as Wall Street reacts to this perfect storm hitting the company from multiple directions simultaneously. With plants shut down across 3 countries, hundreds of workers laid off, and stock prices in free fall, a critical question remains. What happens next for Stellantis and its increasingly anxious workforce? The crisis at Stellantis shows how fast the auto industry can change. In just weeks, we've seen canceled electric trucks, plant shutdowns, and hundreds of layoffs. The company has watched its profits drop a staggering 48% in the first half of 2024 alone. What happens next will reshape Stellantis' approach to electric vehicles, manufacturing in North America, and relationships with suppliers and unions. This could be why the UAW has strongly supported these tariffs. They believe these policies might eventually boost production at underutilized US facilities. Will this be just a temporary setback, or has Stellantis' position in the American automotive landscape permanently changed? The next few months will tell.